Hello everyone, my name is Ayache. I'm one of the sales directors here at X Capital Real Estate. In the wake of recovering from a major rainstorm that occurred in Dubai last week, we at X, and on behalf of the entire company, would like to share how thankful and grateful we are with all of the government-related entities that helped support and made sure all of our lives and families' lives are safe during this one-of-a-kind rainstorm. So of course, in relevance to such natural occurrence, all of I could think of is how these kind of force majeures of what we call in the real estate industry can affect our business and affect every single decision that's made by a buyer or an investor or anyone that basically buys in Dubai real estate. And if I was to relate it to what happened last in Dubai compared to a natural occurrence or a pandemic, we shall say, it could be what happened during the 2020 COVID-19. And the reason I say that is because I am a big believer of one of the main factors of why Dubai real estate market has been performing on such a great level in the past 2 or 3 years is because of how the governments here in Dubai managed COVID-19 compared to everybody else in the world. Without going into the deep details of how the government in Dubai managed COVID-19, but we all know that the city stayed open. We had the minimum amount of deaths, and we kind of like stayed business as usual as far as like an industry compared to everybody else, of course. Now, if I was to take that rainstorm and kind of compare it to how does it affect other countries, unfortunately or fortunately, I'd say it haven't happened to me while living in Dubai. So last time I experienced something as far as big heavy rainfall wasn't actually in Dubai. It was many years ago. It was precisely in 2012 when I was still living in America, and it was a major storm called Sandy. Sandy have affected the majority of the areas in New Jersey and in New York. And when I looked at the details and how could a storm like Sandy at the time compare with the heavy rainfall that we got in Dubai last week, and it was very close in the amount of millimeters that we got as far as total rain. So in Dubai we had about 254 millimeters of rain coming down in 12 to 24 hours. And in New York, New Jersey area during the Sandy storm, we had about 260 millimeters of rain coming down. However, the difference in the damage, the amount of death was completely on a different scale. And I'm talking about hundreds of deaths that happened in New York and in New Jersey. And like I said, I was living there at the time. We couldn't have food for a couple of days. We didn't have petrol, gas, we didn't have electricity for as far as like 7 or 8 days from what I remember. When I looked and I listened to what His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said just yesterday, he said everything that happened is actually good. It led us to waters accumulating in the water dams and the rivers flowing and so on and so forth. But I'm thinking of it from, of course, a business perspective, business related to real estate, of course. And the minute someone tells me, well, I'm worried about buying a house in Dubai, and the next thing you know, is it going to be flooded? Is it going to be in a flood zone or so on and so forth? I could assure you and I can guarantee you that from what we had happen to us last week and how the government deployed every single strategy and effort and manpower to make sure that the water was cleared and cleaned within a couple of days, that's not going to happen again. And by the way, during a couple of years ago, when the D33 agenda, the economic agenda that was approved on by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, the sewage system expansion and further on to get it to a point where we don't have these cases is already in plan, and it's somewhere around 80 billion dirhams that was planned to go into that sewage system. And so when you have now again talking to buyers and investors and end users that are buying in Dubai, you have an example now, right? So we all know that in real estate we have what we know of force majeure, natural occurrences. Now of course that can happen in any country, any city, but the way the country and the government and the service entities deal with it is of course different from one city to another. Matter of fact, just after this happened, we're almost exactly a week and a half from this occurrence, and I can tell you business is as usual. The land department is open, banks are open, real estate office is open, our agents are active on the phone, we're down in the field, we're doing viewings, and we're closing deals. For everyone that doesn't live in Dubai and may have looked at this whole picture from the outside as if it's something that's bigger than what it needs to be perceived as, I assure you it is not the case. I'm happy and I feel blessed that myself and my family live in a city like Dubai, because I know now that anything that can happen in the future, potentially and possibly, is going to be managed well. And of course that helps in a way build a better real estate industry, because the government of Dubai and the Dubai Land Department is constantly aiming to build a better transparency around the real estate industry, to build a better, a trustworthy kind of industry where a buyer can go in for any purpose of strategy, whether you're buying to live in or buying to invest, to flip, or to rent out. You know that there is an entity such as Dubai Land Department and the whole government of Dubai looking at every single possibility that can happen, can exist in the market, that can affect the market negatively, and yet manage it well. In a summary, I can assure you that everything that happened for a reason, and it is very well managed. And we're back to business, we're back to normal. If you are watching this from anywhere in the world and you would like to understand more of how Dubai government managed this whole rainstorm situation, and if you still haven't bought your house in Dubai and you're thinking to buy and you've had a concern after watching or seeing that rainstorm hit the city, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Get in touch with one of X Capital Real Estate Advisors and we'll be more than happy to assist you. See you soon.